After Mumbai's largest dumping ground caught fire, the maximum city is blanked by a thick smog. These shocking images captured by NASA satellites giving Mumbai a reality check.
India has a mounting waste problem. A few months ago, this landfill left the people of Mumbai gasping for breath. About the size of 90 cricket fields, it holds nearly half of the city's waste. Thousands of tons of paper, cloth, metal and electronics. Toxic waste that not only impairs public health, but it also pollutes the environment. Worse, many of our urban landfills are already past capacity. Little or no recycling program exists in most of our cities. Instead, it sparked a growing demand for rag pickers, women and children who live and work in the mountainous piles of stinking garbage to pick up recyclables to make a living. Clearly, we're on the brink and we need solutions. I'm Miloni Bhatt, and today on Future Perfect, we'll tell you how innovation is driving smart waste management technology. In this episode of Future Perfect, a focused look at the challenges of managing organic waste in the country. See how compostable bags offer a more viable alternative to managing organic waste. And learn how segregation of waste at its source can help reduce the burden on landfills. And are plastics that break down easily a solution for better waste management? Most of India's urban slum population has very poor access to regular trash collection. It's a grim scenario considering the threat of waste to our health, safety, environment, and not to mention the financial ramifications of it all. But even we who generate the waste do not effectively segregate it into wet, dry, plastic or organic. Something that's costing us dear.
Landfill is a part of a land. It's where you dump your waste and you think you have done away with it. The issue is that land is an ecological entity. We are short of land, good productive land. Everybody talks about it. Being an ecological entity, you must realize that when you are putting waste, it could include a lot of pollutants. It could include a lot of medical waste if it's not segregated. It could include a very safe part, that is the organic waste, which can be used for regeneration of the land. So the multiplicity of the waste in terms of its characteristic will create complications.
Complications like polluting the local environment, contaminating groundwater and soil. Decomposition of the organic waste such as food and paper produces landfill methane, a greenhouse gas much worse than carbon dioxide that contributes to global warming. The search for a better alternative to waste management instead of blithely using landfills or then burning the waste led to Pune Civic Authority to commission a pilot project on composting. By involving the informal sector in the process of door-to-door collection of waste, the Pune civic body began an awareness program to help societies segregate their waste at their homes.
at present more than 50-55% we have source segregation is there. Any large, we are the 8th largest one and second in Maharashtra. That's why it's a huge quantity. We have a centralized as well as decentralized processing facility. That is one thing. Biogas, vermicomposting 24/7, and then bio-CNG and waste to energy plants. Then another thing is to incentivize to citizens. We give them 5% rebate on rateable value. Those who are doing waste management at source itself, maximum 10% rebate will be offered in the property tax on rateable value, and that is solar system, rainwater harvesting and vermicomposting.
Apart from incentives, the Pune municipal body adopted a more practical technology to augment the composting process.
Last year, we have a joint venture with BASF biodegradable bags, and that is a good example for having wet waste, organic waste in that bags, and that bag itself is degradable bags. Within 60 to 70 days, that bags and all good manure will find that. And many societies have adopted such type of practices with the BASF biodegradable bags. Another thing is segregation at source, then reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, and then integration of informal sector, then participation of NGOs, and then involvement of societies and medias and other all societies, all level of society. In these premises, we are treating 100 tons every day.
So what was the outcome of the entire project that you undertook with the Pune Municipal Corporation?
In fact, Pune Municipal Corporation gave us a platform to do this project. We visited or we met 1,000 residents of a society in Pune, and we demonstrated and brought awareness how to source segregate, how it is easy to save the environment if source is segregated, and how it is easy to segregate the waste in eco-bio bags. Further, this organic waste collected in eco-bio bags was sent to composting, and within a time of 90 days we saw that we got a high quality compost which was ready to use for agriculture. It's by inducing small behavioral changes that few housing societies have led the attempts at better waste management, like this one in suburban Mumbai.
Our first objective should be on waste management. So about 5 years back, we took the initiative of ensuring that the organic kitchen waste and the plastic waste is segregated. So we roped in our citizens of the society, we made them conscious about this very important thing. And mind you, at that point of time, there was no rule or regulation where the society can be penalized by the municipal corporation if they fail to segregate the waste. So it was our initiative to ensure that the waste is segregated. Well, it was easier said than done, because when we started this particular initiative, at the end of 6 months, only about 10% of the residents segregated the waste. We looked at the problem, why it's not happening, and we realized the fundamental aspect was education. So we ran a campaign. We made society members conscious by giving them 2 separate bags, and that is how the waste segregation started. And at the end of 1 year, we had almost 70% of our residents segregating the waste.
Segregation of the waste at the source is a precursor to any good solid waste management. And if segregation at source is good, you can say you have won half the battle, because most of the technologies which are available for solid waste treatment depend, like composting or biomethanation or even incineration or gasification. All these technologies are very good for organic content of the solid waste. And now if organic content is mixed with inorganic content, then biological processes are hampered, as well as it's a burden on thermal processes like incineration. So if you segregate waste at the source, you can very well manage your solid waste, and that has been the practice in Western world, developed world. They segregate solid waste into almost 7 to 8 categories at the source, and therefore you see very clean atmosphere and clean cities in Western world.
The challenge of creating composting pits in a space-starved city like Mumbai might seem daunting, but it's not impossible. At least not for Nusrat and Afzal Khatri, who've transformed a junkyard into a thriving biodiversity park. It was nothing short of a miracle. This lush green park was once a dump yard of the Samtanagar police station in suburban Mumbai.
So many people have contributed. This land belongs to the police station. And then so many other help is done by BMC, like they build the composting pit. Of course, this place was totally a dump yard, absolute a dump yard. Nearly 1800 truckload of garbage was removed from here. And we came to this place with one police officer, Vinayak Mule. He showed us this land. And we could visualize seeing the beautiful topography. If it becomes lush green, how beautiful it's going to look. And this topography we haven't changed here. We left it as it is, the levels. Whatever levels were, we started planting on that. But first part was cleaning. Imagine 25, 30 years accumulated garbage that was over here. You name the garbage, it was there. It starts from debris to rags, plastics, rubbers, and thousands of liquor bottles broken into pieces. For 3.5 months, this place was cleaned. Imagine after cleaning also, when we used to make a pit to plant something, we used to get about one foot. If we are digging it, we used to get half small bucket of garbage inside the ground. But eventually it was cleaned slowly, slowly, slowly. And whatever greenery you look around, I must say 90% are cuttings. Because 90 to 95% plants, we can replant them with the cuttings. We can propagate. We could not imagine at that time that this place will become like this. And then slowly we started implementing so many other things over here. That was beehive, rainwater harvesting, composting. The composting is built by the municipal corporation. That was their help. They built for us. And we started making a manure here. And the same manure we are using for this whole place, and is conditioning the earth. We need less water because it retains the water. Not a single plant has fungus. And this place is lush green even in summer month of March, May. Those months also, this place is absolutely lush green. And the temperature is about 4 to 5 degree difference from outside and inside.
Over here, we put biodegradable waste, that is except meat, fish and all, because there is nothing such as available over here, so we don't put that. Simple vegetable waste is put, and the tree cuttings and leaf, everything is put over here. Now it takes, every day you put whatever quantity you get it, do not dump over there, just put it and spread it. As you can see over here, it is every day it is spreaded, and on top you have to just add a bit of soil, sprinkle soil over it, and this is the ultimate product. And the same waste is converted back to Mother Earth, manure or soil.
So creating compostable pits seems to be a viable solution to manage waste. But can we make it accessible to every household in the country?
The civic bodies play a very important role when it comes to waste management. And here there are best practices and best-in-class civic bodies like the Pune Municipal Corporation, which has best practice when it comes to solid waste management practices. Of course, the challenge is how do we ensure that these best practices are now adopted across India by other civic bodies.
It's very unfortunate. India is one country which still does not have an integrated land use policy. We have isolated systems. We have an agriculture policy, we have an industrial policy, we have an urban policy. Now, what we are doing is in the system now we are creating more land use types. Now, a landfill is a land use type. Ultimately, it is a piece, it may be very small, but it has serious implications. It has serious implications not only in terms of soil leaching, I mean the leaching part of it, where it means that the soil can get spoiled, it's also creating a landform. So water is going to flow away from that. Drainage is going to take care. If it gets into a higher elevation, drainage is going to. So what is happening is it will influence the surrounding agriculture. It will influence the people who are living nearby. And mind you, in this country, most marginal lands, most poor lands are the lands where slums start. The moment you recognize a landfill, the moment you put up a road going anywhere, some people will come and start living there. These are marginal people. They have their own problems. Now, in this context, their health will be affected. So, ultimately, each of these land use types have some kind of an influence on the other surrounding land use. It is in our interest, in the interest of the society, that we have healthy relationship between different land use types. So, a healthy landfill, which is separated, which is not, where contaminants are not there, will do good to the surrounding landscape, do good to the surrounding people also.
Plastic bags are a nuisance. Extremely durable, they are difficult to break down and harm the earth. But now there is hope.
We have had a lot of positive momentum in terms of regulations that favor alternate technologies or solutions to the polyethylene bag problem that we have. For example, most recently, the Central Pollution Control Board has introduced the Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016, which differentiate compostable bags and exempts compostable bags from the minimum thickness that has been mandated for the polyethylene bag. So this is a monumental new regulation which will favor the adoption of compostable and alternate technology. However, how well this gets implemented will be a very important challenge.
These compostable bags are made with a combination of special materials that don't harm the environment and leave no trace of their being there.
So what we do is, we first take the granules and then we decide on the application, whether it's a carry bag, garbage bag, food packaging film, and depending on the application, we do our combination. And then when we are done with the combination part, then we put that granule in the feeder that we call as extruder. And then in that extruder, we get a film, in the form of bubble. We take the film out of this. And when the film is out, we take it in a roll form. And then we give it for quality testing, whether it has got that tensile, that elongation, that strength. And then it goes for printing process, depending on the client's requirement. Then we print the entire material. Then again the roll goes to bag making department, where we make the first batch of the bag. And then we put the weight inside the bag, we do jerk testing. And there today, in our umbrella, we have got 35 brands and who are ready to go ahead. Mainly being three reasons. One is their concern about the environment of the country and they think that, yeah, it's the right time to do a bit for the environment. Second, every state is banning plastic everywhere. So they feel, instead of doing the process one by one each state, let's go pan-India. And the third is, everybody has realized that yes, this is the future, because everywhere in the world, if you talk about France, Europe, Germany, everywhere they have banned plastic and they have made compostable mandatory. Because they know at the end of the day, if you throw this product, this is becoming manure.
When you think of biodegradable plastic as an alternative solution to waste management, number one is that the use of plastic is very high in our society and the cost of biodegradable plastic is at least 10 times more than the chemical plastics. So affordability of compostable plastics is the major issue to implement this into the society. Number two, compostable plastic means plastic is only a component of solid waste. So it is not a complete alternative to the solid waste management system, but it can reduce the load on the existing solid waste management.
The cost notwithstanding, these bags are finding takers, from households to your neighboring festive setup to big grocery retailers.
Initial resistance was there, but I think after a few months that resistance started to go down. We found the solution well before the government came out with a ruling of no plastic bags, because I am very conscious of carbon footprint. Whatever we can do to reduce it, and recently the BASF's EcoView came across, I think that was a fantastic option. Primarily because of two reasons. One, that it's environment friendly. Secondly, the bag has strength. One of the biggest positiveness is environment care for the planet, according to me. And anyone who can do what they can do should do.
In urban sprawls across the world, public waste management systems cannot keep pace with expanding cities and rapid industrialization. But the key here perhaps is to just ensure that waste is collected, segregated, slowly reduced and definitely recycled. But for this, our behavior needs to change. Next week on Future Perfect, the science that's transforming the auto industry and its shift towards a more cost-effective and efficient future.